Welcome, everyone, to this week's Funnel Forging Call. My name is Tamara, and I am here this week as your host for the Funnel Forging Call. How's everybody's week going so far? All right. So today we are going to be taking a look at how we can increase leads. So actual people that we can have conversations with about our business and about the products that or services that we provide. And so we call them leads, but really everything is about people. Everything is about relationships. Everything is about connection and conversation. And that's what you really want to focus on here. And one of the key features that I think is going to be very popular this year is the brand new quiz builder inside of Sales Process. People love to take quizzes about themselves, to find out information about themselves. Have you ever taken like a personality quiz or an archetype quiz to find out about yourself, more about yourself? To discover something about yourself, right? And so the quiz feature does exactly that. It allows us to build out a feature based on the services and products that we sell. We can help put our potential customers into buckets based on how they answer questions in the quiz. And it's a really fantastic lead magnet. People love to fill out quizzes. And you can now build quizzes inside of using Sales Process, and you can use that as a lead magnet in your funnel system to bring people into your world and to, number one, categorize them, grab their name and email, number one, as a lead. You're going to be able to categorize them based on the answers to the questions that they fill out on their quiz. And also to be able to understand them more, what their needs are on a deeper level of them just grabbing a freebie, right? So people who sign up for lead magnets that are just like a freebie, you don't get a lot of information from them. You might get their name and their email, right? And that's it. And then you send them the lead magnet. But with a quiz, we can go a little bit deeper. We can find out a little bit more information about them. And we can also cater to their needs better because we have more information. So based on the answers that they give during a quiz, we can funnel them into the perfect product, the perfect fit product, or the perfect fit program for our business, right? So I'm super excited about showing you guys this. This is a new feature. Our development team is working on it to make it better all the time. It has gotten to a point now where I feel like we can really do some cool things with it. You've probably noticed it in your Sales Process account for a while, and maybe some of you have already started using it to build quizzes, and that's fantastic. The feature gets better and better all the time. And we love to provide feedback to our development team and say, I wish it did this or I wish it did that. And they're always open to hearing about that. But right now it's at a point where I feel like we could really dive into this and take a look at it and have some fun with it. And you can put it out there into the world. And it's a really good lead magnet. People love to fill out quizzes about themselves. This is something that you could put on your website. You could run ads to it to have people fill out this quiz. And it just has so much potential is what I'm trying to say. It makes exchanging your information fun. It makes it educational. You could make a totally fun quiz that, isn't serious at all. Or you could make a very serious quiz about determining somebody's mental health, something like that, right? Of course, I only would recommend that if you were a trained professional, but the possibilities are really endless. And that's really what I'm trying to get across here is that I think it can really be used in any niche. And could, like I said, what I love about the quiz so much is that it's not just an exchange for a name and email. It's the potential to grab some really good, solid data about the people who are interested in your services and finding out exactly which service, which bucket they fall into, right? And then you can talk directly to those people based on how they answered those questions in the quiz. So I'm excited about showing you this new lead generation strategy. I hope you're as interested as I am and excited as I am about learning how to build it out. We're going to start today taking a look at the quiz feature inside of your sales process account. And I'm also going to use another software that I like to use based on the fact that it makes it easier to develop a quiz. And we're just going to also incorporate using ChatGPT. Many people, many business owners use ChatGPT every day. I am one of those people. I don't go a day without using ChatGPT. AI, I know Peng Joon is a huge fan of AI and teaches it constantly to his audience. So you are probably already using AI and ChatGPT, but I'm going to show you how I used it to build out a quiz and made it so much easier. I didn't have to think about a lot of things. I didn't have to figure out the scoring for the quiz, none of that. I just popped it into ChatGPT and it spit out the answers for me. So it was really good. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we are going to dive into how to build a quiz. Okay, so inside of your account, the quiz feature actually lives in your site's menu on the left-hand side. And you will see it right up here. Okay. So it functions very much like a form or a survey or a quiz. It is a drag and drop builder that you can use. The quiz functionality has a little bit of a different feature in that you can assign categories and scores to each of the questions that you want to ultimately determine a result based on the answers of everyone's questions, right? But before we dive into the quiz builder itself, let's talk about the framework of our quiz. The first couple of things that we need to decide is what we want to reverse engineer our quiz. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to decide what are our results? What are the buckets that people are going to be put into? And then we will build the questions to put them into those buckets, right? And I didn't take a lot of time to go through and figure out all of this stuff. All I did was I went to ChatGPT and I'll show you. I wanted to do a business owner quiz. That's what I wanted to create, was a business owner quiz. And I'll show you exactly the prompt that I put in here. So I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. This was the business owner quiz this was the prompt that I put in. I just said, create a 10-question business coaching multiple choice quiz to categorize participants into 3 categories. And that's why I say you have to decide on what are the buckets that you want. What are the results that you want first, right? What are the categories that you want to put your people into? You have to decide that first. Okay, so in my quiz, I'm saying I want to do a beginner business owner, a stable business owner, and a ready to scale business owner. So I have 3 buckets. Now you can create as many buckets as you want for your quiz. All right, but these are the 3 that we're going to work with in this example. Then I tell ChatGPT that the questions must be weighted or scored to earn points that coincide with the 3 different categories. Based on the score for each question and for their overall total at the end, will determine which category or business owner they fall into. Then I just said, write out the questions for the quiz, the different multiple choice answers, along with each score that should be assigned to the choice that goes with that question. That way, if I ask ChatGPT to do this, then I don't have to sit there. I don't have to think of the questions, because sometimes that can keep us stuck. Having to stare at a blank screen and try and come up with this stuff ourselves, it keeps us stuck. And that's what we don't want. We don't want people to stay stuck. We want to keep moving forward, right? So ChatGPT will create the question, it will create the answers, and it will assign a score to the question and answers, okay? Now, this is a starting point. I don't just take this and copy and paste this into my quiz. I go through this and I think about these things and I say, is this really going to help me define which product or service is best for them based on what I sell, right? But you can see here that ChatGPT did exactly what I asked for. They created a point system based on the 3 categories that I had. So if the business owner scores between 0 and 14, they're going to be classified as beginner. If they score between 15 and 24 points, they're going to be considered stable. If they score plus 25 points, they're going to be considered a ready to scale. Okay, now I didn't have to figure that out. ChatGPT did that for me. ChatGPT came up with all my questions. And as you can see here, they're assigned a point to each of the answers. And the answers, you can see here that less than 6 months, that's an indication that this is a brand new business owner. So they're getting the least amount of points, right? Because they're going to fall between that 0 to 14 points. Then B is 6 months to 2 years. They're giving that particular answer 2 points, and that's going to help the person fall in between the stable business owner, right? Based on if they continue to answer using these points, the maximum they can get. So 2 times 10 is 20, right? If they answer all of the questions using, and they always answer the stable business owner question response, the maximum that they can get is 20 questions or 20 points, right? So 2 times 10 is 20. Do you see where I'm going there? But I didn't have to figure this out. ChatGPT did this for me. I didn't have to. So now it really is just about going through, reading these, editing them to sound more like me or make it more entertaining or whatever it is that you want to do. But you're not starting from scratch. That's ultimately my point here, is that you never have to start from scratch. ChatGPT has come in, they've done the work for you, they've set up the categories in the scoring system. Now, all we have to do is take this information back over to sales process and build the quiz. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to go back to sales process and I'm going to show you, I have built out this complete quiz already. I've already built it out, but I'm going to show you how to do this from the beginning so that you can understand how this goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the quiz builder. So we're in sites and now we're going to go over here to quizzes and we're going to go to the builder. Okay. And you can see here I have my business owner quiz that I've built out. And we are going to take a look at that one. But first of all, we're going to start from scratch and build our own quiz. Okay. So we're going to go and we're going to add quiz. Currently, there are no templates to choose from. The development team is working towards building templates so that you can have something that's already pre-designed and maybe has a really cool look. This is really, really basic, what you join or what you come into here in the builder, but you have the opportunity to make this look the way that you want it to. So of course, the builder is the same as your form builder and your survey builder. All your design elements live over on the right-hand side here. So of course you can get into what this looks like, what the footer looks like, all the colors and padding and all of that, what kind of colors you want to add to the background here, any sort of advanced settings that you may want to add, like custom CSS, any sort of placeholder design there, anything like that, okay? So all of your styling lives over here under this, style and options. The way the quiz is set up is much like a survey. It has questions per screen. Okay, so it's like a slideshow, right? So your question lives on the slideshow. Now, you can add images here, you can add whatever you want to the top. You can add, like if we wanted to put our logo at the top, we could do that. We could choose a file and add a logo, right? Let me just see what I can add here. I could use this maybe. There we go. So I can add that to the top, and then I can play with how big this is. This is quite big, so I'm going to maybe do 200 and do 200 for the width. And then that I can save that. So you could, instead of this, you could put in like your logo, right? Whatever you want. The next thing is to start asking your questions. Now, normally on a form, what we do is we ask for the person's name and their email. In a quiz, we want to save that to the very end, okay? And the strategy behind that is if they get to the end of the quiz, they're going to want to see their results, right? So they're more apt to give you their information after they've gone through and filled out the quiz. So we leave it to the end to ask them for that information, okay? So what we start with then is the quiz question elements. Over here in the quiz builder, you have single choice, multiple choice, you have radio button, yes or no, you have short answer, long answer, number, $sign, right? Single drop down and multiple drop down. I'm going to tell you right now, you want to keep your answers either using a single drop down or a single choice, because otherwise it complicates things, right? If they're going to give two answers to one question, well, that makes it little bit more complicated. So we're going to keep it simple. You can get complicated. I'm not saying you can't, but for this example, we are going to keep it simple, and we're going to use either single choice or single drop down elements to create our questions. And I'm going to show you what each of those looks like, okay? So the first question we're going to drag over and we're going to drop right here. And it says this, single choice, and it's got these weird numbers at it, and option 1, 2, and 3. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to ChatGPT and I'm going to grab question number 1, and I'm just going to copy it. And I'm going to come back over here, and to get it to change the name, I come over to this and I just paste it right in here. And then I'm also going to paste it into the query key. Now this is what you can use in custom values to identify your custom field. So we're going to just make it so that it matches what is up here, okay? So basically it's saying, how long have you been running your business? And then we're going to say this is going to be required. So it shows us this little asterisk here. That means that they have to answer this question to move forward. And then here we're going to flip down the drop down, and here is where you're going to fill out your options. But the first thing we have to do before we can fill out our options is we have to set up our categories. Remember, our categories are beginner business owner, stable business owner, or ready to scale business owner, okay? So we need to set up our first one, and I'm just going to copy the whole thing, and I'm going to go back over here to category, and I'm going to click into the drop down, and I'm going to choose add or manage, and I'm going to add to the category, and I'm going to paste the first category in there. So there's category 1, the beginner business owner, okay? Then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to copy the second category for my quiz and come back over here, go back to category, add or manage. I'm going to add another category that I just pasted and submit. And then, of course, I'm going to grab my last category. And that's going to go like that. And we'll go back over here, click on category, add or manage. And then I'm going to put that in there and submit. So now I have all my categories. Now I can set up the options for this particular question. Okay, so we'll go over here. A is, and I don't necessarily want it to say A. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to put the answer. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to bring that over to option 1, less than 6 months. Which category does this question or this answer belong to? It is to our beginner business owner, right? So I'm going to choose the category that it belongs in, and I'm also going to tell what is the score for this answer. It's 1 point, right? And we can go back and check with ChatGPT to make sure we're correct, right? The only thing that I would do as I'm working through these questions and moving them and populating them into sales process is I would probably mix up the order that these are in, because these are always in the same order. So it's beginner, stable, ready to scale, right? So you can see how it's always the first answer is beginner. So I'd probably mix these up as I go through and build out the quiz so that it's not so obvious that if you answer the very first option for each question, you're going to automatically be considered a beginner business owner. So just to point that out. Next, we want to copy option 2. So we're going over here. We're going to grab this one. We're going to copy it. And we would paste that right like this. We're going to select the category. So it's not beginner. This time it's stable business owner, right? And the score that they get for that is 2 points. And we can double check that just by going back over here and checking, right? So then we're going to grab the next question or the next answer. And we're going to go over here and we're going to create option number 3. And then we're going to assign that to the category ready to scale. And of course, the score for that one is 3 points, right? Now, if you had more options that you needed to put in, you could put them here. You can keep just adding, click on add option. If you need to add more categories, if you have more than 3 categories for scoring your quiz, then you can add more categories here. But once we get that finished, we're going to click save. Okay. And just 1 sec, we're going to close this here. Okay. So it's the reason it's not letting me save is because I've already set these questions up in the other quiz. So it's already duplicated. But I wanted to show you that. So we can't save this, but we're going to go look at that other quiz that's already pre-built out. So that, what we set there was we were saying single choice, okay? So single choice, they can only choose one of these answers. And I'm going to reiterate again that when you allow more than one answer, or when you start using short answer or long answer custom fields in your quiz, that makes it more difficult to score because it's not as simple as a single answer. So just a word of warning, not that it can't be done, just that it makes it more complicated. The next thing I want to show you is we want to add, let's add question 2. All right, so we're going to add that to page 2. And let's make this one a single drop down. So we're going to drop this one down. And you can see it says something funky here. We need to rename that. So we're going to go back over to ChatGPT and we're going to copy and paste question number 2. And we're going to just click into here and we're going to change that to the question for number 2. And we're also going to change this to number 2. And we're going to make it required. Okay. And then we're going to click on options. And of course, here are our answers and which category they belong to. Now, before, remember I said we want to switch these up so that they're not always in the same order, so that it's not answer 1 always is beginner business owner. Answer 2 is always stable business owner. Answer 3 is ready to scale. So maybe this time I want to put this answer in option 1 spot. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that right here. And I'm going to say this one is actually ready to scale. And I know the score for that answer is 3 points. Then I can come over here and I can grab this one. And I'll copy and paste it over into option 2. And I know that this one is the beginner business category. And the score for that answer is 1. And then I can go and grab the middle one, right? The stable business owner answer. Copy that. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to paste that in here. And I'm going to choose the category, stable business owner, and I'm going to put a 2, right? And then again, when I try to save this, this is going to throw an error because these fields that I created already exist because I've built this quiz out once before. So I'm just going to save that. And it just throws that error. But let's take a look at what this looks like in the preview. Okay, so if we take a look at what we see here, we can see here that we have the, oh, and you know what? It's not going to show us because this didn't save because the questions are the same. So I'm going to pop actually into the one that I already built. This here, I think we've covered what this looks like. We have the options here for the drop down, what your answers are going to be. And I'm also going to be able to show you in the other the quiz that I built out completely what it looks like. So we're going to go back out to here. And we're going to open this one, which is all built out. It's got all 10 questions in it. I put a little bit of styling here to make the background. I could, of course, also put the image at the top here if I want, and I can choose my file. Again, I can choose, I can choose my chat icon again. There we go. And then I'll play with these here. I'll put this 150 and 150. There we go. And we'll save that. So now you can see, let's take a look at what this looks like. What is this going to look like to the viewer? Okay, so here is what it looks like if you didn't like embed this on a funnel page. So if you just sent them the link to the quiz, this is what it would look like to the person taking the quiz. It would have the image here and it would say, how long have you been running your business? And then it would give them their choices, right? So let's say I've been running it more than 2 years. Next. Then it says, how do you currently generate leads, right? And again, this is showing me, this is a radio button option. So I'm going to choose that. Then it says, what best describes your business revenue? And I can choose, click next. How structured are your business systems and processes? This is a drop down. So I'm going through. And what is your current team structure? You can go and click that. And then how confident are you in your pricing and offers? There we go. How do you manage your time? And then how diversified is your income? And then how do you track your finances? And what is your long-term business goal? So I'm just going through and I'm answering these questions, right? Now here is what my score looks like. Here's the results page. This can all be changed as well. Okay. So my score, my overall score was 72.73%. medium. So that's what it looks like here, which I'm not crazy about how that turned out, right? So, and then these here don't really match because it's not set up properly. But we're going to go through and set up the results page. But this is what your options are on the page. And then what you can do is you can have a call to action button here as well that says, want to talk about your results. And you can either have like book a call or subscribe here or click this link to my sales funnel to take you to check out my program or whatever, right? So let's go back and take a look as we scroll through the quiz that was built. At the bottom of your quiz here, we want to do one couple more things we need to add. We need to add one more page. And here we want to pull over the personal information, right? Like we want their first name. We want their last name. We want their email for sure, right? So all of these, we want those to be required. Oh, and this is, there we go. And we're going to check this to be required. There we go. And we can even add some text at the top that says, we can drag some text up here and we can change this. We'll just play with the background a little bit and we'll change this to 18 for sizing. And here we would say to get your quiz results, please provide your contact information below. Okay. And then they're going to be incentivized, right? Because they've already gone through, they filled out the quiz, and they're going to be incentivized now to give us their information. And then we can also take this opportunity to design the results page. Now, here, we're going to click down here and we're going to edit the template. And it takes us to, there's 4 sections, it says. There's the header, the categories, the call to action, and the footer. And so we have to click on each section. This is the header, right? So we can change this to read what we want it to say, right? It doesn't have to say default quiz. It could say business owner quiz, right? So we can change that. And of course, you can use styling here. You can add an image up here if you want. You can do whatever you want. You can also, this is the header layout is the default, or you can have reverse, right? You have some more styling options here with padding and margins and also your background color. And you can see that I chose like a blue color here. Okay, so I'll go back here and put this back over to the left-hand side. Oops, sorry, not that. I meant to do this. There we go. Okay, now it is actually pulling in my business name because I toggled that on, okay? And I don't want to do that. I want it to show this as the... So it looks like there's a bit of a glitch there in the software. Like I said, we're still working through some of the things, but it's gotten to a point now where I feel like we can still use it. So here is the header. Okay, so this is what we were designing and stuff over here. Now we're going into this section here, and here we can go and we can play with the score tiers. Okay, you can add extra tiers in if you want. So remember, these are our categories. So this would be, we want to say beginner, business owner, right? And it was from, let's go back to ChatGPT, sorry, and let's see, 0 to 14 points. So we're going to go 0 to 14. Okay. And right now, the only way you can do this is through percentage. It should, in the future, be able to say, no, I want to do this through points instead of a percentage, right? And then this one is, we're going to put this as stable business owner. And what was our scoring here? It was from 15 to 24. So we'll go back over here and we'll put in 15 to 24. Okay. And then our ready to scale was from 25 plus. So we can go here and go ready to scale. And we can go 25 to 100. Okay, we can put that in there. Now, we could also add in more tiers. Now, when you're thinking about the tiers or the categories, you might want to think about, like, if you're doing a personality quiz, there might be more personality types or buckets for them to fall into. So this is where you would develop those categories and types, right? You'd add more tiers here. Okay. Then you can also change the color. If you don't like the red, yellow, and green, you can change the color just by clicking on it. You can brand it, make it your hex colors, your brand colors, put those in here. All right. You can look at the style. Here you can change what the font is used here, how big it is. You can change the size. You can change some highlighter behind it if you want. You can highlight it pink, right? And click that. Put some more text here, right? You show here your score settings. So it's showing your overall score. You could shut that off if that doesn't make sense to you. If you want it more broken down like this, you can do that. Or you can switch it up so that the score appears over on the left instead of on the right. Again, you can shut these off. You can show the tiers. You can shut that off completely if you want, so that there are no tiers and you just have these here. Your margin and padding is available here to be manipulated. And then, of course, your background color. You can change the color here to whatever you want. If we wanted a light blue, you could do that. Okay. So just think about those things. That's just more so the design, but you can do that as well. Okay. And again, you can manipulate these. Now, if we're going to go and click on this section, this is the category score. So this is where it actually takes it and puts the score for each category. Okay. And maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want to shut that off completely, or you can turn it on. You can also write more information underneath the category name. So maybe you want to write in more of an explanation, like, you're just starting. Welcome to the entrepreneurial there, right? So maybe that's what you want to do. And then you can also do that for this one. So it's up to you. And then you also have the opportunity here to score settings. So if you want to show the score or shut the score off. So you can get rid of that. Margin and padding again, background color, same as before. Okay. So just a little bit of more styling, more information that you can add to it. We're still not done here. And then, so we did this. So this was the category score. Then you have your call to action, right? So here you can decide, what does my button look like? What does my button say? Right? What does my button say? It says subscribe, but maybe I want to say book a call. Okay, and then I would put in my subscription to my calendar link here. I could put that in. There. And I would save that. Now let's go look and see. Did that save? Button style. Okay. Content. It says beginner business owner, book a call. Okay, that doesn't look like it's saving. Oh, I see. Okay, so then if I get the beginner business owner, I get book a call. If you get the stable business owner, maybe I want them to sign up for my monthly subscription or something, right? So you can determine based on their score what the call to action will be. So that's really cool. So you can decide, do I want to, maybe if they're a beginner business owner, you will direct them to a free PDF that you have, because maybe you serve business owners at a higher level, right? So that's kind of, and then you would create your call to action for if they are ready to scale. Maybe that's the ones you talk to. Maybe that's the ones you want to book the call with, right? Okay. So that's how that works. And then down here, we have the footer. So here, I think I would probably put in, it shows Google, but I could put in, I'll put in my, there we go. And it's, there we go. All right. So now that shows Facebook. So this is actually your socials, I guess it is, not really your book a call. So this would be your link to your Facebook page. You can link your Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google. That's all. Doesn't have any YouTube or anything like that. So hopefully they'll add more. And then of course you can always put in here what you want your footer to say. Like if you wanted to put in copyright or something like that. If you wanted to just put in your business name, right? You could do that as well. Okay. Margins and padding, same as before. Now we're going to click save. Okay. So now we have our status code 400. Okay. That's okay. We'll leave that. Maybe this is what's causing the 400 here. Oh, that's an example domain. Okay. So we can leave, we'll put in Google here. And we'll put Yahoo on here. There, save. Let's see if that fixes it. Oh, it didn't. Okay, so I'm not sure where the error is in there, but it's just a 400 error, so we're good. Anyway, our quiz is done. Now, what we need to do, so a couple things. Here, once your quiz is done, you can go and you can embed your quiz on a funnel page, or you can grab the link for your quiz and send it out in an email or connect it to your link tree. And then they just see the quiz like this, right? If we go and look at it, they just see it like this. It doesn't live on a nice funnel page. So just know that there's two options here, okay? And it keeps saying 400, but I'm not sure where that 400 is. So let me just take a couple of because I do want to save this. So this is good. This is good. Take this out. There we go. Then we'll. Oh, it still didn't work. Okay. So we're going to move forward though, because I don't want to spend too much time on trying to figure out what that error is. It's probably one of the links I put in here that's not working. But now that we have the quiz, people can take the quiz and they can end up getting their results. But what we want to do to make this even more powerful than them just landing on a results page and getting the results is we want to be able to tag them and categorize them in our CRM and attach this to a workflow as well. So for the last 15 minutes of this, what we want to do is we're going to back out of here and we are going to go, here's our quiz here. We're going to go over here and we're going to build an automation for the quiz to go along with this so that we can categorize which results they got, right? And tag them appropriately. And then we can customize the email communication or the SMS communication, the texting communication that we want to give to them. So here we would go to the automations and we would create a brand new one. Now I started one here just before class started. So it's right here, business owner quiz. So I'll show you here. And I'm actually going to delete this. I'm just going to delete this and we'll start from the very scratch. Okay. So I'm creating a brand new automation and there are going to be a number of triggers at the top here. Okay. So we have triggers for quiz submitted now. We didn't used to. That's brand new. So we have quiz submitted. So quiz, you type in the word quiz and it's quiz submitted. And then we have to tell the system, what is the quiz name? Which one is this for? Which quiz is this for? So we say is business owner quiz. Okay. Now we can leave it like that, but to get really granular with how they answered and what their results were, we want to add in some more filters into this trigger. Okay. So if we click on add filter here, and we click into the drop down, it's going to show us our categories here. So we can say, we can either, based on their overall score, or if their score resulted in being them landing in the business owner category, or if they landed in the ready to scale or the stable business owner. So for this one, I'm going to choose business owner, beginner business owner. And this is going to, I'm going to change the name here, beginner, and then I'm going to save that. Okay. Oops. Oh, then I have to add this here. So equal is equal to or greater to, or is not empty. Like you have all of these to choose from. So let's say, I'm going to say is equal to or greater than or equal to 14, right? No, sorry. Let's say 1. No, we only want 14. But we don't want this to be equal then. We want it greater than or less, equal to or less than. There we go. Equal to or less than 14. That's when they're going to hit the business owner points, right? So we're going to save. That means that the trigger is going to be if they filled out the quiz and their results landed them in the beginner category, that's going to fire. Okay, now I'm going to build another trigger for the other category. So quiz submitted, I'm going to say is business owner. I'm going to add my filter again. So I did business owner. So now I want the stable business owner is greater than or equal to, no, sorry, less than or equal to, less than or equal to, oh no, I want it to be greater than 14. Can I add another filter? Yes, I can. Okay, so let's try. Oh no, I can't use that. Stable business owner. So that might be a limitation still of the quiz, is what you can put in here, especially if it's points based. Because I only would want this to fire if they landed between 15 and 24, right? So greater than or less than or equal to 24, but that could still fire if they landed in the beginner business owner, right? So that's kind of a limitation right there when you set that up. So that's a problem. We'll have to let the developers know about that. But then if this was working properly, I would say stable, and I would save that. And then of course I would build out the one for ready to scale business owners, right? And we're going to have the same problem though here, because we're going to go to add the filter and it's going to be ready to scale. Oh, I guess it's going to be greater than 25. So that actually works. It's the middle one that we have the issue with, because there isn't one. You can't put the filter or put the barrier on both sides. So it's the middle one that we have a problem with. And this one we want to say is scale. Okay, and now we're going to save it, right? Now, what we can do, based on the fact that we have 3 different triggers, we can set up 3 different communication paths for these people who take our quiz, depending on how they get categorized. So the first thing we want to do is we want to build in a condition, because we want to check which trigger fired this automation. So we're going to type in if, else, and we're going to add that. And of course, you know me, I like to change this to not a condition, but a question. So which category did they score in? Okay. Or what were their quiz results? That makes more sense. And so we have build your own, that's fine. We're going to say beginner. And we're going to say workflow trigger is beginner. Next branch is stable. And we're going to say workflow trigger is stable. Then we're going to go to our third branch, which is scale, right? And so we're going to say workflow trigger is scale. And then we're going to save it. And what this does is this instantly builds out the paths for how we want to communicate with the people based on which category they landed in. So of course, here we would continue building out the workflow with add a contact tag. And I would say quiz beginner, right? Add a new tag. And I would put that up here as well. Quiz beginner, and save. And then to carry on, I would want to send them an email with more information, right? More information about whatever it is that I can offer to them based on them being a beginner business owner. Okay? So we would send them an email. And then you could continue on building out a whole nurture sequence based on whichever category they fall in, right? So then you could go and add in a wait time. And you could say, wait 2 days, maybe. And I'd put that up here and save. Wait 2 days. All right. And that is how we would build out the communication path. Now we can really narrow down our communication and we can speak to the person taking the quiz directly based on their needs and whichever category they come into, right? So then what I would do is I would just copy this all and I'd paste it over here. But I would change this, obviously, not to beginner, but I would change it to quiz and stable, right? Add new tag. Stable. There you go. And then this email would be about them and the category that they're in or the stage of business that they're in and how I can help them as a stable business owner. They're ready for what kind of service that I offer, right? And then you can have wait 2 days. And then of course you can copy this and send them another email. And you can build out a whole nurture sequence that way. Same with your scale. Just copy all of this and you move them over here and we would change this from stable to scale, right? I was like, oh, my brain is not working. Okay. And so we would go scale, save, and save again. All right. So, and then of course I want this to match, right? So I'd want to copy this and put it right here. And then I would save. So that is how you can build out your quiz for your lead generation. And people are excited to fill out quizzes, right? They want to take a quiz about themselves and learn about which category do they fall in, right? So you can build this out inside of your sales process account. You can attach it to an automation that will become this well-oiled lead generation machine that you can use to attract people to the services and products that you sell. All right, guys. So we have about 2 minutes left here. I'm going to go over quickly what your homework is for the Facebook group. So if you are not aware, we have a contest in our Facebook community, and I can show you where you can join if you're not sure where you join. So over here inside of your sales process account, you have a join our community link. When you click that link, it takes you right to Facebook and you can request to join. Make sure that in the questions that you answer to join the group, that you use your sales process email address that you signed up with for your account. But we are having a contest in there and you have the ability to win one of 3 prizes. A one-on-one with Peng Joon and a ticket to his event that is happening, I believe, on Thursday this week, actually. And then we have second prize is a one-on-one traffic strategy, ads traffic strategy with Marcus, who is the brains behind sales process and Peng Joon's ad strategy. And then we have the third place prize is a ticket to the event that's happening on Thursday. So if you get your homework posted in the Facebook group, make sure you include in the post the hashtag sales process wins, all one word with the hashtag in front of it. And that's how the team looks for your entries for the homework contest. So the contest, or for the homework tonight, for today, is your quiz. Okay, so take a screenshot of your quiz And what I'd like to see is your quiz built, like you can show me a couple of your questions here. And then I also want to see your results page, what that looks like. Okay. So I want you to grab that screenshot, post that into the Facebook group. Make sure that you post it there and put the screenshot of, so you'll have two screenshots, the results page and then also the page with all the questions on it. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. It was great to see all of you, and I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. I'm back here for the CRM Connect call, and I look forward to seeing you then. And good luck with the contest. Have a great evening, everyone.